Harriet Washington, the author of Medical Apartheid, examines the cruel and unjust procedures that were done on Black people. Um, and in the reading, it kind of opened my eyes up to the cruelty that um, African Americans had to face, especially slaves. Um, you know, at a time where slavery was um, profound and slavery was dominant. It was interesting to hear um, about some of these stories that um, Ms. Harriet Washington explains. Like the one that stood out the most to me was the story about the guy who was put in the barber chair or into a chair and had a procedure done where they removed his jaw. Um, Now, in no circumstance would anybody allow somebody to strap a human, let alone an animal, down to a chair or tie something down that's alive and proceed to remove that person or animal's jaw without any anesthesia or anything. But you know, she explains that these procedures were done on people that didn't have the power to say no. Um, they attacked slaves. They attacked pregnant Black women um, who at the time were also slaves, and just slaves in general. They attacked them because they had no choice in the matter. You could perform any of these procedures without any consent from the person who is having these procedures done to them. Um, and I mean, in every single way, that was wrong, and that was something that should never even have taken place. But um, I mean, she attacks the flaws in our medical field, and I mean, the book itself was eye opening, but then again, it shines a light on kind of what's happening um, right now with COVID-19. Um, I know for me, it's been a lot of confusion because I see news outlets and news channels saying that Black people are the ones that are more, um, how do I say this, more um, prominent, I guess, to more susceptible to attract the disease. And out of all the people that have died, it's been African Americans. It's been older African American men, older African American women. And my question is why? I don't know if it's the lack of health care. I don't know if um, it's the lack of professional medical staff to be able to help some of these African Americans in impoverished areas. I don't know if those statistics are saying African Americans in impoverished areas. Um, I know that as an African American male, my dad has high blood pressure. My grandfather has high blood pressure. My grandma has high blood pressure. We've had multiple family members die of heart attacks and things like that. So it raises the question of, what is really going on in the African American community, health wise, and what is going on once we enter that hospital. Um, have times really not changed? Are there procedures that are being performed on African Americans because of the color of their skin that ultimately end in death? And as this class goes on, I look forward to taking a deeper look into African Americans' healthcare, and just just diving into the world of healthcare and what it means and what I should look out for being an African American male when having to deal with health professionals.